Be seated, babies. I want you to remember that no bastard ever stopped the rise of fascism by getting their ass beat by a neo-Nazi. They stopped the rise of fascism by beating the ass of a neo-Nazi. Men, women, and NBs, all this shit you've heard about Antifa being violent, just showing up places to start fights, is a lot of horse shit. They say we love violence. Well, okay, who doesn't love a little violence every now and then? But are we here to provoke violence? Hell no, baby. If we loved violence that much, we'd be fighting on the other side, wouldn't we, babies? Because they started this fight. The Nazis, the Klan, the ones that tried to rename themselves the alt-right like we wouldn't catch on to that shit. They started talking about getting rid of everybody who ain't like them. They ran people over. They intimidated. They killed people. They started this fight. But we are gonna finish it, babies. You know why? Because we got things they ain't got. We got nerve. We got toughness. We got style. Nazis got no style, baby. Even the original ones back in the day had no style. And they had Hugo Boss dressing them and everything. And we got training. I have taught you everything I know about Krav Maga, which is everything. And now you stand here as the Stop and Chop's first class of officially licensed security guards. You are ready to go out and stand with the people who protest the Nazis, the Klan, the alt-right, the Trump supporters, the ones who talk shit about immigrants, and people who are a different color than them, and people who are a different religion than them, and spit all other kinds of hate. When there is peace, you will keep that peace. If they start a fight, you will end that fight and leave those lousy fash bastards sorry they ever even dreamed about fucking with you. The Nazis are the enemy, and the line must be drawn here, babies. This far, no farther. You're gonna go out and put your bodies on that line. The Nazis and the rest of them might try to move you off that line. Don't let them. If they start a fight, make sure they lose a fight. If they draw your blood, make sure you get a look at their blood too before it's over. Because if that's how they want it, their blood will paint the way to the future, babies.
Was that another bloody Star Trek reference?
No. I said that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. That's not Star Trek, that's Apollo 11.
Oh, I never saw that film.
It's not a film, it's the moon landing. The actual event in history when people landed on the moon for the first time.
And they never made a film of it?
There have been a bunch of films made about it.
Not one of which have I ever seen. Now, if you'll excuse me, lads, I've got an appointment with a bar stool.
Fair enough.
Uh-oh.
What?
Did you see what Stanley Dukins tweeted this morning?
Stanley Dukins' second replacement backup lunar module pilot for Apollo 17? Who is my favorite astronaut for reasons that won't be relevant to this conversation and thus don't need to be mentioned or wondered about?
Yes, that's Stanley Dukins.
No, what did he tweet? "50 years since America, all caps, first landed on the moon. We went in peace for all mankind. Now the dregs of mankind are flooding in from Mexico to get their peace. A nation without borders is no nation at all." That's interesting.
That's one way to say it.
I mean, a lot of these old astronauts have some screwy views. Edgar Mitchell believed in UFOs. Harrison Schmidt is a climate change denier.
I think this crosses a line from screwy views to something else. He's not just endorsing a conspiracy theory or promoting bad science. He's voicing his support for the Trump administration's inhumane border policy that is the direct cause of the suffering of thousands of people.
Yeah, I guess that is worse. But what are you going to do?
I'm going to protest.
Good for you. I'll be sure to like whatever you tweet about it.
No, I mean I'm actually going to attend a protest. Stanley Dukins is in Hagerstown tonight appearing at an event sponsored by Hagerstonians for Tea Party Patriotism in support of ICE and the Border Patrol. Some of the local immigrants' rights groups have organized a protest, and I'm going with some old friends from the Mid-Atlantic Food Bank.
The what?
You should come with us.
Me? Nah. I just went to a protest.
You did?
Yeah, remember? I went to the Women's March.
That was 2.5 years ago.
Well, anyway, thanks for the invitation, but I don't think I'm going to go.
Okay, no pressure. But
what? But what, Stuffy?
It's just that I know Stanley Dukins is your favorite astronaut, and you've looked up to him for a long time.
Right.
And this weekend is the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11, and your favorite astronaut just came out as an anti-immigrant bigot.
Bigot might be a little harsh.
And I know that's a terrible feeling, and maybe you'd rather just not deal with it. Have you considered that?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yes, I have a meeting this afternoon. I need to stay sharp.
You're not usually in here this early. Is everything okay?
Everything is fine. I just need to find someone to take over as manager of our all-species shelter by next week, which is a level of pressure that would crush a member of a lesser breed. Fortunately, I, as a husky, am more than up to the challenge.
Of course. That white Russian you just drank.
White husky.
Sorry. That white husky you just drank was just to take the edge off, I'm sure.
Precisely. Huskies know that alcohol is a servant, not a master. We don't just guzzle booze irresponsibly like...
Oi, barkeep. Bushmills. Neat. Keep the bottle handy.
We were just talking about you.
And here I thought my ears were burning from the fleas. Here's to you, sled dog.
Didn't expect to see you in here this early either. Isn't today the big graduation at the Stop and Shop?
Aye. That's Toby Benson's thing, isn't it? No need for me to be there.
You don't have any cases you're working for TBIB?
Of course I've got cases, but it's Squirrel's day off, and Toby Benson ain't working, so why should I?
Your dedication to your clients is stirring.
So they might have to wait an extra day to find out if their husband is screwing around on them or if their uncle is really their father. It's not life or death.
How sordid. Thank goodness huskies don't have to deal with such things.
You're telling me no husky has ever cheated on a spouse or found out their biological parents weren't who they thought they were?
If they had, it would be quite hypocritical of me to look down on other people for such things, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Well, there you are.
So tell me about the client whose husband may or may not be screwing around.
Why? What's it to you?
I was just thinking if you did have a case to work today and wanted a hand, I'd be happy to help out.
You're working here, aren't you?
At the moment, but Sam will be here in an hour and he can handle things himself for a while. Might be fun to hit the streets again. I won't even ask for a cut of your fee.
In that case, get that bottle of Bushmills ready. I'm gonna have to fit a whole afternoon's drinking into an hour. Also, you will have to drive.
I told you I'm not going.
I'm not trying to force you to go. I just want you to understand why you don't want to.
Look, it's not a big deal to me, okay? So Stanley Dukins is anti-immigration. He's a wealthy white man in his 80s. Which one of them isn't anti-immigration?
Norman Lear.
He's in his 90s.
He's your favorite astronaut, and...
Norman Lear's not an astronaut.
He's your favorite astronaut, and you look up to him, and now it turns out he's not someone you can look up to anymore, and that's a tough thing to deal with. And I think you're just pretending not to care so you don't have to deal with it.
Why do I have to deal with it? He didn't do anything to me. He's an old dude with a shitty opinion. The world's full of people like him. They get to the ends of their lives, they look around, see people struggling, and decide to get a few last kicks in rather than try to help somebody, and then bam, a whole life's work of service and inspiration pissed away. One tweet is all it takes to get on the wrong side of history, and after that, nobody cares how many times you walked on the moon.
He never walked on the moon.
I know, I'm just saying.
In fact, he never even flew in space, did he?
He was the pilot on Skylab 5.
There was a Skylab 5?
Yes! Look, it doesn't matter. The point is, yeah, okay. Another person I looked up to turned out to be an intolerant, reactionary piece of garbage. Big deal. Been there, done that. Why should I expect more from people just because I admire them? What, because he was an astronaut? Because he's been to space? Because he's seen Earth from a vantage point above the clouds? Seen it as a unified world? Without borders, without countries, just land and water and creatures all struggling to survive and get some meaning and pleasure out of this life that none of them asked for? Because he had that rare and beautiful experience and apparently took nothing from it but petty national pride? Dean Cain was Superman. Now he's a Trump-loving asshole. He played the embodiment of compassion and heroism and selflessness for 4 years and somehow managed to internalize none of it. So yeah, we all have rare and beautiful experiences that should change our lives and make us better people, from which we wind up learning absolutely nothing. Which is why it's fine. It's no big deal. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. When's that protest?
In about 3 hours.
Don't leave without me.
Okay then.
Which room is he supposed to be in?
Number 14.
But he's not there?
Not yet. But according to the register, he came in 3 weeks ago and paid for that room for the whole month.
How'd you convince the desk clerk to let you look at the register?
I didn't. I lit the clerk's car on fire, and when she ran outside, I slipped behind the desk and helped myself.
Jesus Christ, Jack.
What?
You burned someone's car just to get a peek at the motel register?
Stay easy. I only used a bit of lighter fluid on the roof and the hood. It was just for looks. Once she has it painted, it'll be good as new.
I'm sure getting her car painted will be no problem for someone who works as a desk clerk at a motel.
It's not my fault if she doesn't save her money.
What's her name?
Who?
The clerk whose car you torched, of course.
Not a clue.
Give me the binoculars.
What for?
Just hand him over for a second.
Just keep an eye out for him. He drives a silver Ford Fusion.
What did you have to set on fire to find that out?
Never you mind.
The desk clerk drives a Corolla?
Aye, a blue one.
Well, it's not blue on top anymore. Here you go.
Now what are you doing?
Just a bit of detective work. Hi there. Is Janine working today? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, who is this I'm speaking to? For a second there you sounded just like someone I knew. Your last name wouldn't happen to be Brooks, would it? I see. Well, I'm terribly sorry I bothered you, dear. You have a nice day. All right. Her name is Lisa Martin.
A regular Magnum P.I. you are.
And would you look at that? She started a GoFundMe so she could pay to have her car repainted following a random act of vandalism. I'm contributing to this. I think you should too.
Right then, send me the link.
Are you seriously going to donate something?
I wouldn't have said so if I wasn't. How short is she after your donation?
She still needs another $350.
Then I'll make up the difference.
Well, all right. I'll send you the link. I have to tell you, Jack, you surprised me just now.
Did I?
Yes. Obviously, it would have been better to just not set fire to her car in the first place, but making a donation that big so she could pay for the paint job is a very commendable gesture.
It's nothing, really.
It's very generous of you.
Bollocks, I'll just add it to the bill. What?
Nothing.
Okay, what about this?
Nice. Did you do something for the other side too?
Yeah. I figured we're protesting ICE and the Border Patrol just as much as we're protesting Dukins, right? So, what do you think?
Do we really want to stigmatize psychopathy by associating it with the Border Patrol?
Good point. Hey folks, thanks for watching. And now, to talk to you about how you can help us out, here's Toby Benson.
What's up, babies? If you like this video, click like, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. And also, think about helping us to keep making videos by supporting this channel with a monthly donation through Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron, baby.
Thanks, Toby Benson. And thanks for having our backs at the protest, too. I saw some of your Stop and Shop security guards there.
All part of the job. And they're called the Krav Squad, baby.
I like that. The Krav Squad.
Yeah, me and Squirrel and Jack brainstormed for a while and came up with it.
What were some of the other names you considered?
The Antifa Avengers,
That's a good one.
the Skull Crackers,
Gets the point across.
FBFFF,
What's that stand for?
Firebombs for Fascist Fucks.
Was that one Jack's?
Yeah, baby.